I'm Richard Powell. I'll be talking about business ethics. In every business, big or small, ethics are the most important guidelines to follow in order for your business to be successful in the long run. Ethics. In order to have a solid ethical foundation, it's important to know what ethics are in the first place. In her article, A Definition of Business Ethics, Mary White describes business ethics as written and unwritten codes of principles and values that govern decisions and actions within a company. Ethics in the workplace. The attitude and conduct of any employee can be affected on how they are treated within the workplace. Texas Instrument Company came out with an advice article that stated, employees who are treated with dignity and respect, who take pride in their organization and its ethics, tend to respect the assets of that organization. In other words, it all has to do with psychology. If someone is treated well, they feel comfortable in that environment, and they tend to be very productive in what they do, and they don't tend to act out because they like their job. Ethics and communication. In today's business world, companies have multiple partnerships with other companies. These partnerships can be fragile and can easily be broken off if one company shows that it's unethical in how they do their business. Don Moss, CEO of Clorox, wrote an article on trust and mentioned, when a company models that kind of behavior inside and out, meaning trust, it solidifies its reputation and makes business transactions and partnerships happen much more quickly. So in other words, if you show that you're trustworthy, you're going to have more partners than companies that show they don't have any trust. Communications continue. Any company that shows trustworthiness gains an advantage on the competition. It's kind of like friendships, almost, is that you don't tend to be friends with people you can't trust. And another point is, the longer the relationship lasts, the more likely both or all companies involved will prosper. And again, like a friendship, the longer you get to know somebody, the more comfortable you are around them, and the more you do stuff with them. And with a company, the more you get to know the other company, the more you'll be able to do business with them. And eventually, that should equal higher revenue and profit, which what every company is looking for. Internal communication. Communication is not important with just external partners. Poor communication within the company can ultimately cause inefficient productivity. In the article, 5 Steps to Reduce Tension Between Coworkers, Guy Harris mentions, still the learning point remains. Better communication skills tend to reduce tensions that lead to unresolved conflict. So in other words, communication is important for a healthy environment in the workplace. When certain problems are known, it is easier to take care of them. I have had personal experience with this. I've had many friends that I worked with over the summer. We had a couple issues, and we ended up having a bit of a spiff during work, and we were both excused for a month over the summer without pay. And companies will handle poor communication and grudges between employees if they have to. All right. Financial ethics. This is where the most ethical codes are broken. Business is about making money, and some people are willing to smudge financial records in order to show that they are making money. There are multiple reasons why they do this. It is for managers to show upper management that there are no problems. They can show that the company making profit, and that will bring in more investors, which means even more money. And if they show that they're managing a company that is making a lot of money, they can potentially get a raise or they can get promoted. Financial ethics continue. In her article, Financial Statement Fraud, Tracy Conan explains that financial statement fraud is almost always perpetrated by upper management or company owners, meaning that managers show these false statements in order to show stability to upper management. Because if you're managing a company that looks like it's on the downfall, more than likely you'll either lose your job or be on the hot seat to make sure that company starts working much better. The effects of financial fraud. If a company is found guilty of financial fraud, the effects are widespread. Conan later points out in the same article that a manipulation can affect a bank that extends credit to the company, a shareholder who invests money in the company, and those organizations that enter into contracts or agreements with the company. If financial fraud is discovered within the company, all those mentioned above will more than likely lose money. Famous example is Enron and the Anderson firm. They both smudged financial records in order to show that both of them were making more money than what they were. A lot of people were working for them. They were opening up new warehouses and everything, new firms. But at one point, the fraud was discovered, and that caused Enron and Anderson Corp to just nosedive financially. They lost a lot of partners. They lost a lot of employees. A lot of employees were fired and were not able to get their pensions because of what happened with the company. So in conclusion, ethics make the business. Without them, a business has nothing to go on in order to be successful. There are many levels within the business, and ethics affects everyone. Without ethics, customers will not buy, employees will not work, and investors will no longer support the company. And that is my presentation on business ethics. I hope you learned a lot. Thanks.